This video is sponsored by Quince. Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps and the first video in the collection you guys picked out. I asked all of you on 4 different platforms whether you would rather have an under the sea theme or a stone and gemstone theme, and on every single platform a stone and gemstone theme won. And so here we are making the first 2 soaps in that collection. These soaps will be available on July 3rd at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time at royaltysoaps.com, and as of this video going live, all of the liquid hand soaps that we launched a few months ago are back in stock. You guys sold them out completely, and I'm so grateful that they are available again for you all. The first soap we're making is the most classic, probably the most Instagrammable gemstone, and that is a rose quartz. This fragrance is a very sparkly blend of fruits, a little bit of a tropical vibe in there. It's super pretty in pink. And while rose quartz is a very sort of milky pastel soap, I tried to lean into its darker elements. So let's make rose quartz. Okay everyone, let's get started on our first soap in a stone's throw. I wanted to start out with something a little more common, a little more classic. If you're thinking about gemstones and their popularity, I'd say that rose quartz, pretty common. There's different shades of pink that rose quartz can come in. We have this beautiful light pink color we're going to be working with today. We're going to start by blending this up. All right, this looks absolutely stunning. My batter is really working out well today. If you want to make soap like me, I have a recipe down in the description box below. It has been made by thousands of people all over the world. I haven't changed a thing in many, many years because this just works. If it isn't broke, why fix it? So we're going to pour off 3 different colors. This is going to be 3 different pinks. And while yes, rose quartz is typically a very pale pink, and the rose quartz I have is a very pale pink, I'm taking some creative liberties today. We're going to be doing a little bit more than just pale pink. All right, here we have our base batter and our 3 accents. They're mostly equal. Some of these have just a touch more than the others. No big deal, you won't be able to tell. Now let's talk about color. I want to have a good variety while still staying roughly in the right shade range. I don't want to have pinks that are too cool or too warm or too magenta or too green. So for our first color, we're adding in our darkest shade. This is Watermelon Crush mixed with a little bit of Cosmic Carolyn. Watermelon Crush is from Mad Micas. Cosmic Carolyn is from TKB Trading. I will leave you guys links to the colorants down below in case you want to try them out for yourself. Now in this container, I'm just adding Cosmic Carolyn all by itself. It's going to be a nice bright pink, and I'm adding in a little bit of white so that we can get a lovely pastel. Next, we're moving on with a new favorite. This is Peach Taffy. Again, link down below for your convenience. This would be super pretty in a melt and pour soap. And again, adding a little bit of white just to make that even more pastel. And finally, we have our last pink here. A little bit more of that Watermelon Crush, but not mixed with anything, with no whitener added. I'm gonna start by just blending this in by hand. This is super pretty. Oh yeah, and mixed into our base container here, I added some rose clay. Rose clay does a lot of beneficial things for the skin. Now, how much benefit are you getting in a rinse off product whenever the bubbles from the soap are on your skin for like less than 10 seconds? Probably not that much. But if you ever did a face mask with rose clay in it, you would probably see a lot of benefits from that. Me today, I'm just using it in our soap to add this beautiful pink color, and it's kind of fun to have a natural additive. Even though I'm blending up my accents by hand, I will have to blend at least the ones with my whitener with the stick blender because my titanium dioxide doesn't really disperse fully when you just hand blend. It will get much brighter and much more potent with a stick blender. Kind of like whenever you add black colorant to buttercream frosting. Buttercream has a lot of air in it, and so whenever you mix it up with an immersion blender, you get a lot more pigmentation. That's what I learned whenever I was making my sister's sushi cake for her 18th birthday. It felt like I was adding that black colorant forever. Then I saw a tutorial saying that I should stick blend it, and after I did that, didn't have to add any more color at all. This colorway is absolutely beautiful. Same amount of warmth here, and I don't feel like I'm gonna have to add a whole bunch of stick blending or any extra colorant to get it where I want it to be. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna stick blend these two accents. Now for our rose quartz fragrance. This is, of course, a custom blend, and in my opinion, probably the least adventurous blend of the month. If you're hoping to give soap to somebody and you don't know what sort of fragrances they're into, this is a really safe bet. I have a feeling y'all are gonna really love it and want to see it in a lot more products, including hand soap. And if that's the case, you just let me know. I listen to everything you guys say. Heck, the whole reason we have hand soap now is because it was the #1 most voted for product by our current customers. Sometimes we send out emails to our current customers to ask them what they want to see next, and that information is invaluable, I can tell you that. Now let's just be on the safe side and start blending this in slowly. This is behaving so beautifully, but again, a little thicker than I would have wanted it to be. So I'm just taking my time to make sure that I get absolutely everything. Now that I know that it works well, I'm gonna blend this one up. Why is that? So that I can start pouring my accent colors into my base, letting them get settled before we pour it into our soap mold. Brambleberry has released a new collection. I'm pretty sure they sent it to me. I have a box from them that I didn't order, and I bet that's what it is. Our minds must have been syncopated because I released Lake House Weekend, and 3 days later they released their like Camp Brambleberry collection, I believe is what they called it. Literally adorable. They have like s'mores fragrance. I can't wait to get into that, but we were absolutely linked up on a June collection. I don't know why I wanted to veer away from the tropical vibes. That's always what I do. But this year, I think it was because Caleb and I went to Maine. I'll talk about that in a separate video, or a separate soap at least. And I was near the mountains, and I know that I'm getting to go to Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado for my birthday. I just wanted to do something more like rocks, mountains focused. First accent is in. I'm gonna go ahead and mix the fragrance oil into our other ones here, and then we will pour that into a mold. I do anticipate having to work rather quickly because things are really setting up precious. Okay, this looks really good. This first pink looking a little muddy. It's true, but I believe that's gonna look a little bit different tomorrow. Sometimes pinks, greens, all soap colors really look a little bit different. It's not a big deal. You just gotta let them sit for a while and then they look beautiful the next day. Green Vibrance is one of those. It looks so gross whenever you use it, and then it looks awesome the next day. All right, in it goes. Beautiful. Those are gonna be so pretty on top. I kind of feel like I want less of this one though, because it's really, really bright. All right. This looks so good. Got our mold here from Workshop Heritage and pour it in, making sure all the bars get some of all the colors. Oh yeah, I know this looks super gloopy and you're probably like, oh my gosh, it's setting up at different rates. Like you've got chunkier soap in there. It's not all coming out smoothly. I promise that actually makes it better. I know that's hard to believe, but when we cut that soap tomorrow, it's gonna look more like a geode because things are setting up at different rates. Again, hard to believe. Take my word for it. When we cut it tomorrow, you'll see. Awesome. Okay, let's tap that down really good. Okay, here we go. Right, now let's put some of our colors on the top. Start with this one, since it's so bright. I like to take my time with this if the soap will allow. If it's setting up really fast, you kind of have to go really fast, but this is performing beautifully at this point, so I really make sure that I scrapey these little containers. I tell you what. My summer is perhaps one of the busiest ones that I've had in my adult life. I have taken, like everybody in their 30s, it would seem, to doing a little bit of weightlifting, doing that about 5 times a week. I do not go to the gym. I live 30 minutes away from the gym. I'm not driving an hour, okay? If I can't do it at home, I'm not gonna do it. So I have used the Form app exclusively for my exercise over the past year. Sammy Clark saved my life when it comes to my health and how I view movement in general, as did Sammy Spader. I was just like, you girls, you get it, and I'm happy to do y'all's programs and stick with it. All right, this looks awesome. Let's swirl it around, shall we, and put some pretty stuff on top. So yeah, took that up because kind of had to, like really needed it. I noticed that I had some muscle loss. I really was having issues with, this feels really funny, but my wrists. I was doing stuff with soap and was finding that like my wrist would hurt so much the next day whenever I made soap. So I was kind of looking to get that stronger. I am doing a little bit of calisthenics just because I think handstands look so cool. My sisters are so good at doing handstands and lots of like tricks and variations, and I want to be a part of the fun. Doing a little of that, doing a little bit of reading this summer, and listening to audiobooks. Thank you, Audible. Lots of swimming, and I mean lots of swimming every day if I possibly can. All right, let's turn this on the side and we'll make some lines here. Katie, there's got to be another way to do that. Yes, you're right. There has to be another way to do this because I hate it, but it's the way that I have available to me right now. I'm always telling Caleb, you have got to find a better way than whatever this is, because this is crazy. It's not even like I'm holding it. Do y'all see this? It's so janky, me with my toothpicks. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Honestly, not even sure. I've got to know someone who can do 3D printing to make something that will fit a 14 by 14 inch grid. We've reached critical mass here. This is crazy. Let's start by marking our first ones here so that I don't mess it up. Now, a lot of people ask me, do you use the rock in the soap bar? The answer is no. It looks pretty when it arrives, but we do tell people to take the stone out. Never once have gotten a complaint about that. I remember the first time someone was like, what? It'll be so ugly on the top then. I'm like, I've literally never gotten a customer complaint. Not one time. I think people who are buying rock soaps just know the drill. Okay, everything's been marked there, so I feel a lot better about it. Now I'm just gonna make sure that I place these with the thinnest side so that it's easy to cut, and hopefully I don't lose any of these bars. If I do, they'll go to Eco Soap Bank. Anyways, very much looking forward to doing some hiking in July. Let's see, what else is coming up? Father's Day is coming up. I don't know what Caleb wants to do for that. It's kind of funny. I think we don't do Father's Day the way that everybody else does, because like we always think of it as like even though we are also, a father and a mother, like our kids aren't really old enough to like do anything for us outside of the customary, I drew you a picture sort of thing. And so we don't really celebrate ourselves in that capacity. We're really using those days to only celebrate our parents, like our dad, our mom, I don't know, maybe that is the way that everyone does it. I just see like a lot of people my age, like they are celebrating their own Mother's Day, but I typically don't do that. I typically like celebrate my mom, and I just figure that whenever Lily is like old enough to want to do something, then we'll do something together, but I don't care. Nothing wrong with how anyone wants to do it. That's just how we've done it. So in the past, my dad like is so weird about Father's Day. He won't commit. He'll be like, I don't know, might go golfing. And we're like, oh, okay, he wants to go golfing. And then like a week later, he'll be like, meh, probably not. And we're like, wait a minute. What are we doing? Do we want to have lunch together? Because like everyone's going to have to make something. Sometimes my brother Simeon will like smoke something, like we'll get ribs or something. You have to prep for that. You cannot just spontaneously decide the night before I want ribs. You have to prep. So we're always like, okay. We're always like prepping him like weeks in advance. Like, are you going golfing? Are you going away? Do you want us to make something? He's like, bah, I don't know. So funny. Every year. They do this every year. These are looking scrumdiddlyumptious, I tell you what. I'm really glad you guys picked a stone's throw. I really am. I had something I wanted to do, and I wanted to do a stone's throw. I hope I didn't lead y'all too much, because that's definitely what I wanted to do. Okay, this looks really good. Let's add Candy Glam. Candy Glam is a Christmas glitter, but I don't care because it's perfect for the soap. Like, whatever. It's just pink and red and white. It's not a big deal. I'm like, it's a Christmas one. I can't use it. And I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? It's just red and white. It's not Christmas. And it looks so good on top of this soap. I also think I'm going to add one of my favorite glitters. Listen, I've had lots of favorite glitters over the past, like, 15 years. I really have. I really like this one because you can put it on top of absolutely anything. And that is the 𝘵𝐸𝐸 Iridescent Large Eco Glitter. You can put this on anything. Now listen, I have also had iridescent eco glitters before from other suppliers, and I like them. But when 𝘵𝐸𝐸 says iridescent, they really mean it. Like, you can see purple, blue, green, and gold in the shimmer. It's not just translucent and kind of shiny, which is why it's my favorite. But it's giving sort of like a color shift pearlescent vibe instead of just clear. Wow, what a ride. This looks so good. I'm probably not gonna change a darn thing because I'm in love with it and I think it's great. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna let it sit for 18 to 24 hours. We'll come back. We'll see how those colors have transitioned. If that dark one doesn't look quite right tomorrow, no big deal. We can always switch it. So I'll see you back here in 18 to 24 hours. We'll split the slab into lobes and cut the lobes into bars. Quinn sent me a bunch of new clothes. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to show these to you. And they're all in different categories, like literally all different categories. Quince is like a one-stop shop for all of your high-quality essentials, whether that is home goods or clothing, accessories. Their aim is to bring you really high-quality items at an affordable price. For our casual outfit, I have paired this 100% Mongolian cashmere navy tee. It is so cute. It is slightly fitted at the bottom and around the sleeves. And I've paired them with these 100% linen shorts. Another casual option are their denim shorteralls. And let me just tell you, as an overall connoisseur, these are the best overalls I've ever had. The denim is thick and durable. The clasps hold on really tight. You can see here that the actual short portion is long enough so that I can bend down or bend over comfortably without sharing more of myself than I would enjoy sharing. Now let's talk about my swimming costume. So because I have a pool in my backyard, I was looking for some really classy sort of Princess Diana looking one-piece swimsuits. This is their Italian crossback one-piece. piece, and it is exactly what I was looking for. It provides enough support with adjustable straps. These gold pieces on the back of the swimsuit are such high quality. So pulling on the little shorts as a cover up, cute, adorable, easy, and I'm ready to go. And now okay, listen, I just love this final piece. This is Quince's 100% washable silk slip dress. I love the shape of the neckline. It is super flattering without being super revealing. The adjustable straps you almost can't see, which looks super good. I don't know if you could tell, but I was feeling very confident in this dress. I had to go get my little bag. I have one nice bag, okay? And it had to come out for the occasion because I was working it. Anyways, I will link all of these items for you down in the description box. The swimsuit, the shorts, the 𝘠𝘓𝘪𝘴s, all of these pieces. So if you are looking for an outfit for a special upcoming occasion, a new swimsuit for your summer vacation, or just some wardrobe essentials, click the link down in the description box below or scan the QR code on screen now to shop with Quince and get free shipping and 365-day returns. Once again, you can scan the QR code on screen now or click the link down in the description box to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Thank you so much again to Quince for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, let's continue our soap making. Rose quartz smells incredible the next day. I am undecided about whether or not I'm going to keep this design. On the one hand, I really love that we sort of took a darker route for rose quartz. Most of the time, if you see soaps like this, they're all a very, very, very light pastel pink. And I feel like it's fun to do something a little more robust so that this lighter pink color is the color of the rose quartz, but then the other colors are darker. Kind of a unique play on a concept that's been done a lot in soap world, and I like that, but I don't know if it works. Like, I don't know if the hot pink is too different from the other colors, or if that's nice as a standalone. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. This is one of my favorite fragrances of the month, and it's also one of my sister's favorite fragrances of the month, just FYI. And now we can make Aventurine. Aventurine is very Shire inspired, got a little bit of garden mint, got a little bit of forest moss, and the design is pretty complicated because it is a triple layer ghost swirl. If you don't know what a ghost swirl is, I will show you in the video. So let's make Aventurine. All right, guys, let's get started with our most technical soap of the month. I'm going to have to be very precise. I am measuring in grams. I'm going to have some layers that are a little lighter, some layers that are darker. I've had to do lots of color blending to get everything just right. And since this is our first batch, I don't really know if it's all gonna work out, but we're gonna wait and see. First step, we have to blend up just past emulsion. Okay, perfect. Let's pour off our first layer. This is going to be a very dark green. Gotta pour off just the right amount. Okay, let me add in my color first. Again, this is a blend of a lot of different things. Normally, I like to tell you guys all the colors, and hopefully I can remember. I've got green oxide, black oxide, and green vibrance in this one blend. Scrape all that out with this teeny tiny spatula. I use it all the time. Someone sent these to me. They're available on Amazon. Never been able to find those teeny tiny spatulas anywhere else. Just gonna go around our edges here, make sure everything's incorporated, especially since I'm pouring out of a square bucket today. Now I'm gonna pour a little bit of this color off. Woo! I've gotten everything right down to the grams so far. We're off to a rip-roaring good start. Aventurine is such a beautiful stone. I've been wanting to make a soap inspired by it for a long time. Okay, we're going to be mixing in our fragrance by hand. Again, mainly because I've never worked with this before. Gotta be on the safe side. Now, this is, I don't even know how to describe this fragrance. Petrichor would be a wonderful way to describe it. It does smell like the earth after rain if you were in a mossy forest. So it's an extremely earthy, fresh woodland smell. These types of fragrances, when crafted with care, can be extremely nostalgic, I find. A lot of premixes, in my opinion, smell too pungent. Okay, so for this first layer, let's pour in our accent color, just like this. And I am going to scrape out all of the accent color. By the time we get to the next layer, everything is probably going to be too thick for me to add this on top. You guys know the drill. No mixing, no spinning, nothing. We're leaving this just like that. Got our mold here from Workshop Heritage, and I'm just going to start by pouring top to bottom, just like so, until all of our soap is in the mold. And then I'm going to scrape out this container. Again, not saving anything for the top today. Scrapey out my little square container. All right, time for our second layer. Everything is going so well. For our next color, we have some Garden Party green mixed with a little bit of radioactive green. Garden Party is like a secret weapon for me anytime I need a yellow green. Look how delicious, look how vibrant. This is not one of those soaps that I can go into autopilot and get real chatty with. We're gonna have to wait until I can put the stones on top for that. I am really having to put all my focus into it. Again, blending in by hand, which seems to be working quite well. Whenever I have made other soaps with fragrance notes like this, they always seize up, and that's because there is typically a slight floral element to it. Our Rainfall fragrance, which is more floral than this one, it always turns like really quick. You have to move so fast. All right. Accent in, looks so good. This layer is nice and firm, so this should be relatively easy. Pouring this directly on top. I'm gonna make sure it's nice and smooth in a minute. It's definitely a little bit high on the sides. Scrapey, scrapey. It's all coming together so swimmingly. Whoa, she thick. Admittedly, it's a slightly false sense of thick because I can mix it in and get it to be a lot thinner with relative ease. When it's really thick, like once you've added a fragrance, there's no going back after that. Time to mix in our colorant. This time, we're using Green Vibrance, Garden Party, and a little bit of Radioactive. More of a fresh, bright green than anything else. Now this is about to be some hand stirring. It's also probably going to turn pretty yucky because y'all know how Green Vibrance is. She's temperamental. Last layer. Oh my gosh, this soap takes so long to make. But you know what they say, good things take time. I am gonna risk stick blending this a little bit just because this last layer is looking a little grainy. It can happen after it sits for so long. All right, just gonna run around the edges real quick, make sure there is no unincorporated fragrance or color. Better safe than sorry. Perfect. Gonna add in our accent color here. Leave about this much in our bowl for the top. And let's pour. All right, gonna break that fall with my spatula just in case this layer isn't quite as set up as our bottom layer. This will be even prettier tomorrow after the color has turned the right shade of green. Looking a little like pea soup right now. Gave that a little shake. Now I can pour a little of this light green on top. Oh man. I barely saved it. Holy smokes. It's so heavy, I almost get the corner there.
Everything's fine.
All right, let's give this a little swirl down each loaf here. Looks so good. Can't wait to see what it looks like tomorrow. Whipping in a little bit of texture. Depending on how you hold your chopstick, you can make these swirls a little more flat. Because I'm holding it on a bit of an angle, it is whipping some texture onto the top, which is awesome. Okay, time to mark for our stones. Here are our beautiful aventurine stones. Some are a little darker, some are a little greener, and I hope that ties into all of the shades of green on the inside of the soap. All right, let's turn this to the side. Gonna mark our ends here. These are so pretty. One of the things I like the most about working with natural stones is that there's so much variance in each individual stone. It adds so much to the top of a bar. It also feels like you're getting like a little trinket or something. It's a soap and a toy. Seen a lot of people getting some creative energy back in their lives recently. Such a joy to witness and behold. I've seen so many people who are kind of just feeling down for the last year, two maybe, and they're just finding that creative energy again, and I love to see it. We took the kids recently to Tyler State Park to practice our hiking and walking. We're building up some stamina before going to the Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. Also ventured to the Tyler Rose Garden, which is free to enter, by the way. Super pretty. They've got thousands of roses there. It was such a nice day. If you guys are in Texas, want to take a little day trip out there, it's really nice. The people at the state park were really friendly. As I mentioned, I've been taking daily walks, 30 to 40 minutes outside if I can in the mornings. Kind of ground me a little bit. It has helped my overall outlook and mood throughout the day so much. You wouldn't believe. If that's available in your area, highly recommend it. Just getting out, walking where you can. Those of y'all near the seaside are lucky. It's crazy. Every time I go to the ocean, my eczema goes away. Like every single time. It doesn't matter which ocean either. Takes about 2 days. My family and I suffer with some skin issues, and by the end of the week, nobody has them, and in 2 weeks of coming home, they all return. There's something in the ocean, man. What can we say? All right, we're gonna turn this to the side. Oh yeah. That looks so good. Now, right down the middle, I'm gonna add a little bit of Peacock Eco Glitter. This is from Fizz Fairy. First, I'm gonna spritz the top with some rubbing alcohol and let that evaporate. And I really am just gonna put this glitter right down the middle of the bars. I'm not gonna put it all over. This soap really doesn't need it. But there's some blue hues in these stones, kind of a blue-green. Again, the top will be a little more blue-green tomorrow. So I felt like this blend would be perfect. This is what it looks like. Has a little bit of blue and green on the inside. And again, the fragrance has sort of rainy notes in there. That damp moss. So adding in, I felt a little bit of blue and green would be super good. A little goes a long way with this stuff. I am barely shaking it. If you're looking at this and thinking, Katie, that doesn't really match, I promise it'll match a lot better tomorrow when this green turns the right color. All right, we're gonna leave it just at that. I cannot wait to see the inside of that soap tomorrow. We will be back in 18 to 24 hours. We'll split this slab and take a look at the inside after this quick commercial break. Okay, even though this was tricky, I could barely even talk for how tricky this was, the final result is so good. It's so good. Like, look at this. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And it smells so so much like nature. I really love the swirls on the very bottom layer. I think those look so good. Talk about a statement piece in your shower or on the side of your sink. And you get a little aventurine stone. Lily picked out the glitter on top, and I'm gonna have to tell her, girlfriend, you did a great job because this is perfect. It kind of reminds me of like the clouds. The smell after this has cured is so good. It does smell, again, really mossy, and I would say it's a medium to strong scent strength. Aventurine is also our most varied stone of the month. They look very different. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and the first video in a stones throw collection. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook so that you can see all of our short form content that will be coming out for this collection. You can also subscribe to the email newsletter down below. I love chit-chatting with you guys in today's video, giving y'all little updates and talking about hiking and all that. Those are my most favorite things to talk about in a video, just everyday life. And I hope you guys be sure you do something for yourself today, whether that's going out, getting a little exercise, maybe doing some research on a topic you've been wanting to research for a while. You guys know I don't care what you do, just do something for you, and I will see you all in the next video where we will be making 2 more soaps from this collection. And so until then, bye for now. Meow.